As you must have heard, on February 6, 2023, one of the biggest earthquakes of the last few years happened, which shook Turkey and Syria strongly, and according to official data, the two earthquakes were of magnitude 7.8 and 7.7 on the scale of Richter. To date, the total number of victims is over 56,000 people, with nearly 50,000 of them from Turkey and about 6,000 from Syria. Today, this disaster is called the Kahramanmaraş earthquake, due to the fact that the epicenter was in close proximity to the city of the same name. According to the report, 90,609 out of a total of 717,614 buildings in 11 provinces have been identified as severely damaged and in urgent need of demolition. In Turkey, 13 large settlements were directly affected by the earthquake, and in Syria, 6 and many small ones. In the first hours of the earthquake, rescue teams started pouring in from all over Turkey, but frankly, the Turkish state failed to properly deal with the problem. The problem of coordination was evident, and in some cities such as Hatay and Antakya, aid was delayed for several days, causing the survivors to die of cold as they waited to be pulled from the ruins. The government declared a level 4 disaster, with many countries around the world rushing to help by sending rescue teams. Apart from the belated reaction of the Turkish authorities, another problem that has come to light is the illegally built buildings, which, in addition to claiming 50,000 lives, left almost 13 million people on the streets in the middle of winter. Thousands of videos showing the totally illegal construction were flashed on social networks, and in most of the demolished buildings, the material with which they were built made a strong impression, which, according to experts, is more than bad. Lack of sufficient rebar, use of sea sand in the concrete, weak foundations and general negligence on the part of the construction companies, with even some of the owners of the construction companies who built these buildings caught trying to flee the state. Today, nearly 2 months after the disaster, not a single politician has resigned in Turkey, and millions of victims are living in tent camps in poor conditions, and the streets of the all cities that were destroyed to the ground are horrifying. According to many people, corruption and Erdogan's 20-year rule are the main reasons for the severe consequences of this natural disaster. Over the years, many businessmen from Erdogan's inner circle and their companies have been exposed, who suspiciously won many public construction contracts, according to some journalists, paying themselves behind the scenes. Of course, this is data from various social networks and forums that I have collected for you, and it is possible that some of the claims about the Turkish government are exaggerated, but the fact is that the rescue operations failed to a large extent and many people who could have been saved lost their lives. The very fact that cities with over 1 million inhabitants are built in an earthquake zone speaks of a wrong policy in the country, which is one of the most earthquake-prone areas in the world. Another matter is that a number of foreign as well as Turkish scientists have warned several times about the possibility of a major earthquake in the area, as the area itself is earthquake-prone and there has been no earthquake activity here for several hundred years, which in itself says that there is a huge amount of energy gathered underground that could cause what happened on February 6. Today, scientists are warning of a huge danger that threatens the metropolis of Istanbul, which may have even greater consequences and death, but so far, apparently, no measures have been taken in this regard. In addition, the state has experienced other major earthquakes, which leads us to think that it should be prepared for such situations, but unfortunately, we saw the exact opposite. According to the calculations made so far, the material damage so far amounts to $34.2 billion, and in the future it is expected to exceed $100 billion. After this sad video, let us all wish Turkey as well as Syria a speedy recovery and observe a moment of silence in memory of the victims.